Welcome into the Sporty Nerds Universe podcast. I guess it's more than a podcast. It's just the Sporty Nerds Universe, baby. We are live! Let's go! For the first time ever, we are live because we have a special thing. But first, here are your hosts, Jeff Wolf, over there, Adam Dell. How are you doing, my buddy?
I am great. I've had a great week. We had the...
You're a married man now.
I am a married man. You can't hear me yet. Now you can hear me. I am a married man. It's been a few weeks, and it has been, so far, a lot of fun. You know, everyone's like, how's married life? I'm like, it's the same life it was.
It's the same exact life.
It was just a little bit more stressful until the wedding.
Oh, absolutely.
We had a lot to do in that wedding. It was a lot of fun. We had a great time.
It was a great wedding.
Thank you.
It was exactly how you guys wanted it to be. Nerdy, classy.
Yes.
Nerdy, classy, and that's exactly what it was. That's exactly how it felt. I don't know how you guys drew that line, but it literally, honestly felt that much. And then your garter, toss or event, it was. I've seen other people do something. I've been at other weddings where people have done that before. Not the way you did it. Mm-hmm. They've done something like that before. Yours was by far the greatest.
Greatest. I like how you put that.
I didn't even mean to, but yes.
Pun game on point, son.
Yes.
Yeah, for those who haven't seen it, which is probably most of you, I decided to surprise her with the greatest showman entrance, like right off the beginning of the movie. Busting out the song. I got a coat. I had a cane. The cane was actually part of a backdrop for a photo stand, but still, it's what I practice with. Mm-hmm. And I got to the point where I practice with this so much, I don't want to change the weight. Because it came down, like, in the movie, I choreographed the exact same thing that he did. He does a cane flip.
Yeah.
I don't hit that cane flip. It all goes to hell.
Yeah.
And it goes from a really badass moment, which it ended up being.
It ended up being a very badass moment.
To I dropped the cane, and now I got to pick it up, and I'm like, oh, shit, hold on, let me restart. No, it wouldn't have worked. I had to make that. If you watch the video, I did it slowly just so I could hit it.
Yeah.
But it still turned out.
So once you told me about the cane thing, I went back and rewatched it, and you can definitely tell on that cane flip, your grip gets strong at that moment.
Well, I might have had a few drinks at that point.
I would hope so.
Might be in a very loose term.
Yeah.
Well, I had made it to where I was waiting until that to where I got drunk.
Yeah.
After that, I had the Infinity Gauntlet of Wonderfulness in my hands.
Yeah.
I had a Long Island in this hand, a Long Island in this hand. Between these two fingers was your cigar that you so graciously gave me. Mm-hmm. Delicious.
Yes.
And the other hand was a pen that had tobacco products in it.
Yes.
So I was like, sip, puff, inhale.
You had a whole routine down.
Yeah, we ended up going out to 16-bit afterwards. Had a blast.
Oh, did you? Nice.
Yeah.
How late did you guys stay out?
I think we left there around 1:30.
Okay.
Then we went to bed around 4.
Yeah.
We wanted it to be an epic night, and we would get to 16-bit, and my buddy Dan's there. He was the one with the cow. You know Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah. He comes in, and he just screams that we're there, and the entire bar just erupted. And then they were like hype men trying to get people, and we didn't pay a dime for anything.
That's great.
And I got like one of the greatest pictures of all time. I got my wife in her wedding dress playing like some old school '80s road rage game.
That's cool.
Like we had so much fun.
That's cool. That'd be cool to do like a noir kind of filter on that and get that
definitely.
frame and stuff. That would be cool.
Totally. But we are here not to talk only about my wedding.
No, it was a great wedding, but there was also a very great movie.
Yes.
That came up this past week. That's why we're all here. We're here to talk about Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. We both had seen it on Thursday evening. We talked very little about it purposely. I didn't want to get both of our opinions really on this until we did the show because I want to be surprised and I want stuff to be natural.
That makes sense.
When we're talking about this and not stuff that kind of feels rehearsed and like I know you're feeling on this, so I want to kind of combat with this and think about it for a couple of days. So where do we begin with Multiverse of Madness?
Well, I got a few topics lined up for us.
Okay.
I'm about to split screen. The first thing I want to do is I would like you to do a non-spoiler review. So if you have not seen Doctor Strange, you can kind of watch this part, but after we talked about this, you need to go away because we're going on to all the spoilers.
Yeah.
So what is your thought of the movie without spoiling anything?
Without spoiling anything, I'm going to say this. It much like when we talked about the Batman last show, this is not going to be for everyone. This film was filmed very uniquely in a way that we've never seen a Marvel movie like this before. It's not a spoiler to say this had a horror theme to it, and we had heard that for forever, that's where they were going with this. They wanted that kind of horror theme, and they delivered on that horror theme. It is a Marvel version of a horror movie, in and out. It's a wild ride. It is a very wild ride. This movie is. It's great. I loved it. I don't know if you're a Doctor Strange fan or not. There's a little bit with these Marvel movies. It's not solely on Doctor Strange. There's other characters involved, just like they do with all their movies. Mm-hmm. But I thought they did a fantastic job. I thought one thing we did talk about was the score. The score was done fantastic.
Danny Elfman on that.
He killed it like he kills everything since Batman 1989. Yeah, it was a really good movie. You see where they're going with things. Mm-hmm. There is a couple end scenes, so when you see it, make sure you stay in the theater. There's a couple end scenes.
I mean, when does Marvel not have some kind of end credit scene?
No, yeah.
Other than Endgame, and even then, like people, I was so pissed off. I was at the theater. They came out and said there is no end credit scene, so don't stick around.
Yeah.
But going back after I seen it the first time, I watched the credits, and I loved watching like the autographs from all the characters and the actors. Mm-hmm. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
But when they told me that, it was during a Tampa Bay playoff. I'm sorry, Blue Jackets Tampa Bay playoff game, and I really wanted to get out and watch that.
Yeah.
And so as soon as the movie was over, I'm like, oh, there's no end credit scene. I'm going to go out and watch it. Now, we were at Studio 35, which is a bar here in Columbus, and they didn't have. I couldn't believe this. I've never been to that movie theater before, but it's in the short north and everything. I go out and I'm like, where's the Blue Jackets game? And they said, oh no, the RuPaul's Drag Race is on every TV because they do a showing party every week.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, there's like 3 minutes left in this game and it's tied. Okay, we gotta go. So like,
that's incredible. Like you want to put RuPaul's on? By all means, put RuPaul's on. Put one TV where the local team.
Just put me in a corner.
Yeah.
Like I'll just sit in a corner and watch it on a little like tiny TV. Just let me watch it.
You know what? Like this isn't the sporty side of things, but that gets me. That grinds my gears of just Peter. How like for years past, this city, their lack of respect for the Blue Jackets. Like even getting into the playoffs and not even putting a game on in the playoffs because that's happened to me before, and it blows my mind.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they get it together, and Jackets need to start winning first. So,
yeah.
Anyway, my quick thoughts on the movie. I thought it was wonderful. There are some things that I did not like, and we'll get into that a little bit.
Oh yeah. We're not saying everything's roses. Yeah. There is some things that I'm sure we both didn't like.
Right, but overall, I went into it, and it was kind of what I expected it to be in terms of the level of importance of this movie. It didn't, and again, we'll get to the spoilers here in a minute. But what I thought would happen at the end did not. There was multiple times I was just like, holy shit, and like screamed and like just to touch on what you said, this is very much a horror movie. Mm-hmm. And I really enjoyed it. I think it was one of the best things they've done, honestly.
I loved it because of the different style of this movie. Like I said, it's very different. They've never done a movie like this.
Yeah, and that's when they announced this first, when they were doing the Big Phase 4 announcement, they mentioned this would be the first horror movie the MCU has done.
Yeah.
And there's very much a lot of horror elements into it, and I can't wait to talk about some of my favorite ones. And this isn't to spoil it. One of my favorite scenes in MCU was in this movie, ever. And we'll get into that.
I'm interested to hear what that was.
Yeah. All right, so we ready to get into spoilers?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
because it's hard to talk about this movie right now, like just letting you know what this movie was and not being able to talk specifically about things is very difficult to do. Okay. Stars, 5 stars out of 5 stars. What would you give this movie?
4.9.
Okay. I would give it 4. I'll say 4.5.
4.5. Okay. There is a lot to it. So we're into overall thoughts now. My spoilers.
Yes,
get away.
Spoilers, Spoilington now.
Yes, it's gone. Spoilers.
Put that X on the top right if you don't want spoilers right
X.
now. Yeah, because they're on the computer screen.
I thought you were talking about ecstasy.
Wow. No.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah, that really did.
All right. So overall, I thought it was the movie I thought it would be in terms of it's not the finality of Endgame. It's a stepping stone to what's next in the MCU. And they set up so much in this movie while also telling a good story. Honestly, I think they could have used a little bit more character development for Doctor Strange.
They could have.
I think it was
This was a Doctor Strange movie. It didn't all the time feel like it was a Doctor Strange movie.
no, but when it did, it really, really did.
Yes.
Like, and so my favorite scene ever in terms of the MCU.
So this is your favorite of all time.
It's up there. And I guess
Like we're talking.
I have to put this into categories. My favorite scene is probably Portals when they all come back and.
That's what I was just gonna
Yeah,
say. It's like
I
when I think
gotta
of the
give
best
that
scene ever. That's what I think of.
But the most visually stunning scene to me was the music fight.
Okay.
At the end,
it was so good.
I saw it in the Dolby Cinema, so
Okay.
I had like an amazing sound system. It looked amazing. I was telling Lauren last night, I have to go back and watch it because the whole time I was just geeking out so hard, laughing.
My jaw dropped.
Right, like when I saw those notes start picking up, I'm like, what are they about to do? It had Sam Raimi's fingerprints all over that scene, and I was just in wow. It reminded me of in The Last Jedi when they do the Kamikaze scene with the warp speed. I know a lot of people don't like it, but in terms of just the visualization of it, I was just in awe. And there aren't that many moments where I'm just in awe in a movie theater, and that was one of them. That whole scene.
I started just laughing out loud. And Emily probably thought I was crazy. Like, what are you laughing at? I was just amazed. I was like, they're really doing this. And not only are they really doing this, they're really doing this in a fantastic way.
Right.
And it made me think, and again, it goes on to the layers of how different of a movie this was. And them doing that is so outside of the box. And it works so well. It was a beautiful scene.
I agree.
So I completely agree with you on that.
Yeah. What was your favorite scene?
Oh, I don't think I have a favorite scene. My favorite aspect of it was just seeing the more and more of Scarlet. Like, I have been wanting Scarlet Witch, like truly Scarlet Witch, for a long time, and just how they kept building her up more and more and making her show how more and more powerful she is, scene by scene. Them just keep on doing that. That was honestly my favorite part of the whole movie, and that's why when we get into why I'm not a big fan of the last 15 minutes of this movie, that's why, because like it is a Doctor Strange movie, but multiple times it feels like it's a Scarlet Witch movie.
Yeah, and I do love the character development of Wanda in there. Mm-hmm. The only thing I didn't like. And we're going to go ahead and do our next segment, our least favorite part. You ready for that?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready to talk about it.
Okay, so my least favorite part was it felt like they rushed her turn.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
She went from like WandaVision was great, and I feel like if there was just a scene of her trying to get her kids and showing the Darkhold's corruption on her, I think it would have made it a lot better. Because the whole time in the movie, I was just like, there is something that she just quickly became the villain, and there's not a lot of explanation for it, and I wasn't a big fan of that.
No, so to piggyback on that, when I was watching it, and then I was watching how she turns real quickly with the garden scene with Strange and everything like that, I'm thinking, wow, they really made you have to watch WandaVision. Mm-hmm. And you're watching WandaVision at the time, and you're not realizing really what they're doing within WandaVision in the long game. And then when you see that end scene in WandaVision, and she's reading the book and she's hearing her kids, you're thinking she's still good at that point.
Yeah. And
you're not realizing until you see this movie that's really where she's turned is at that point. You just don't realize it. And because there's such a long time between WandaVision versus now in Madness, it really does a disservice because you've had so much time and you forget about that stuff. I wish it kind of was like Moon Knight, where it had just happened now and it was so fresh in your mind, and then you go into Multiverse of Madness.
I thought that I'm with you on that. Mm-hmm. I wish And I think if I remember correctly, the original order was different before COVID and everything. They had to flip some things around.
Okay.
I liked how they did it in terms of the story with Wanda, and I get her going after her kids. They just didn't set it up enough. It was like
No, not at all.
Same thing with Mordo. Like that was the end credit scene for Doctor Strange 1, where he was taking away sorcerers, and then we learn when he goes to the Illuminati universe that apparently Mordo has been trying to kill him, but we don't see any of that. And I was just like that. I feel like there's a lot in this movie that got cut out.
Well, I think you could be right. It's just when you think of everything and how when you're jumping from multi.
Oh, and I thought Wanda was super cool.
Oh, I always love him. So my least favorite part of this movie is like I said, the last 15 minutes, because I love Scarlet, and I love how just absolutely powerful she is in this whole universe, and for them to keep building her up more and more and more, and then we're getting to like the climax of how big she really can be. And then for what we don't know what's going on with her, but if all of this was for a 2-hour movie and we don't get Scarlet anymore in this universe, I think that is an absolutely awful decision on their behalf.
Going away from the movie side of it, Elizabeth Olsen signed a 7-movie deal, so
okay,
she's not going. I don't think they killed her either.
I don't know. And I don't think they killed her, but we see her in all universes get rid of the stronghold. And to me, it just, when I saw that, my heart sank, because she is a Thanos. Mm-hmm. Like, she is a big baddie. And for you to do this to build her up and show just how powerful she can be, just to bring her down and be like, okay, you're right, I'll go back to Wanda. I just think that's it. I hope that's not the case, because I think that's an awful idea and an awful decision if they do. And it really took away from this movie from that, because up until that point, I'm living in the moment and I'm loving every second of this.
Mm-hmm. You always gotta remember, the MCU is not telling a complete story in one movie.
No, absolutely not.
If they had killed her, it would have been a more dramatic death. Like, you would have seen her dead. The fact that we didn't see her dead, I mean, she's not dead. I believe I was watching Stranded Panda Chat, where they were, I can't remember who it is, but someone mentioned that potentially Chthon could, like, essentially, like, possess her. Okay. 'Cause that's the one who wrote the Darkhold. Yeah. So if Chthon possesses her, now you have Chthon Wanda, which is even more terrifying. Yeah. And I'm with you. I think it's all leading up to Secret Wars. Yeah. Like the fact. Yeah, for sure. Now they're hitting the multiverse and talking about incursions. They said that like 20 times.
Yeah, they made sure you knew that word.
Yes. And at the very end with the post credit with Clea, they were just like, and that's Dormammu's niece. Came and got Strange. He is now embracing the third eye. Like,
you need to explain that part to me. Because I don't that's the one thing in this movie in the last, what was it, Thursday, today's Saturday, yesterday basically, constantly through the day I'm thinking about that, and I'm like, I don't get it. I don't know what's really going on.
The third eye, I think is,
but how has he got that third? Is it still our Strange?
I think it is our Strange, but I believe that at the end when Sinister Strange gets killed, you see the third eye open.
Yes, absolutely. You see
it. And he had been corrupted by the Darkhold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Our Strange attached a shit ton of dead souls to his body. There's going to be repercussions from that. Yes. And I think
they say that. They say prepare for the repercussions.
Yeah, I think that is what that is. He is now going to slowly become corrupted, and Strange might end up becoming a villain.
Ooh.
And so now they could legit flip. If Wanda's good and Strange is bad, Wanda might be one of the only ones who can take on Strange.
And that is so good just based off of what this movie was about, where you see him constantly battling with what he has to be versus what others perceive him to be.
Right.
And for him to still think he's different from all the other Stranges. I mean, he says in the end, we're not different than any. We're all the same. So if that's what happens, fantastic. Absolutely love that.
Yeah, I think that it's setting up the Secret Wars. I don't know what Feige's going to do. The fact that you bring in the Illuminati and you bring in, like, John Krasinski, oh my God, that was probably the loudest reaction in my theater.
Yeah.
Was John Krasinski. Well, you know, I take that back. The loudest reaction was when they killed him, like 5 minutes later. Like, we've been waiting for this guy to play this character for years. We've been fan-casting it. And then he's there. We're all excited.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, that whole scene was just to show how badass Wanda had become.
Absolutely. And maybe a little too much, too quick.
Yeah.
I know for my theater, it actually wasn't him. It was Miss Marvel that people really didn't like dying in that way.
Oh, we had, like, no reaction on
oh, really?
Marvel, yeah.
Okay, yes. See, I mean, people liked that it was...
Peggy Carter, too. That one got a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was, I mean, if you watch What If, you saw...
And
they did kind of drop that in the trailer, which I was kind of pissed about.
Yeah.
I wish in one of the trailers, they showed this, they like a quick flash of her shield. I'm just like, come on, stop ruining stuff. Even Feige said at the red carpet that they put too much in the trailers.
Oh, they absolutely do.
Yeah, which he's not... He's
and
not
that's why
that's
why they have to do all this altering of things.
Right. And I like that. It keeps you on the toes. And I'll say it now, Krasinski got spoiled for me.
So how did it get spoiled for you?
I was just scrolling through Facebook.
Someone put it on Facebook
like 5 days before the movie. I thought I was still in the safe zone. Once it hits like Tuesday, I usually just stay off social media. I think it was Monday. And I'm scrolling through, and someone says, it got ruined for me, so I'm going to ruin it for you. And
don't be that person.
Yeah, don't be that person.
Don't be that person. That's crap.
I mean, obviously we knew there were going to be cameos in it. That was, built up.
So I wanted to ask, is cameos on our docket to talk about?
We can talk about it.
Because I mean, it's not the only, but that is, to me, that's the biggest disappointment of this whole thing is we as fans, nerd media, we hyped this to be much more incredible of different characters that were going to pop in here than we actually got. Right. And for some people, I think that they really didn't like that. I didn't love it because I hyped it up for stuff I really wanted to see.
Well, it's also their fault too.
It is. I really wanted to see Wolverine. I wanted to see X-Men. I wanted to see that stuff. When we see Xavier in that scene where he's going to that door. Yeah. Emily looks at me and I look at her and I'm like, this is it. This is what we're gonna see it. We're gonna see mutants right now. And then it's not. Yeah. But that to me was the biggest disappointment. And I wanted to see Iron Man again. I wanted to see Robert Downey Jr. again. Yeah. I wanted to see as weird as he possibly could be. I wanted to see Tom Cruise as a different multiverse Iron Man. I wanted to see these things, and we did get Krasinski, so that's cool. That's really cool.
I think a lot of that was in there. It just got cut.
Okay.
I think the biggest cuts of this movie were the Mordo story.
Yeah.
And they cut down, and Wanda not. If they had added, I wish this was a 2 hour, 40-minute movie, which apparently the original cut was.
Give me it. I don't care.
Yeah, but the Mordo having more of a backstory and showing him trying to kill Strange instead of just mentioning that he's been trying to do it, I thought that was kind of a cop out.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And Wanda's turn was too quick, and I feel like they cut a lot out of the Illuminati scene. Mm-hmm. I feel like all of those felt rushed.
Yeah.
Other than that, those are my only complaints with this movie.
Yeah, again, it's like I know it feels rushed with Wanda. But to me, it's like because I thought that at first too, and then I just thought back. It's like when you really think about everything this woman has had to go through, like the story arc they have done with her character to get to this point of this movie, it's just so long, but it's so much when you think about it. So it feels rushed, but at the same time, when you sit back and you think about everything that she's gone through. It's like, no duh, she's at this point.
I get that. It just kind of defeats the whole purpose of WandaVision, because at the end of WandaVision, she had realized what she did, and secluded herself.
Yeah.
And again, they showed the Darkhold corrupting her, essentially. But and they even mentioned it in the movie that she's been completely corrupted by the Darkhold. I just wish there was a little bit more to that.
Yeah. I always want more. Yeah. I always want more.
Okay, so we touched on it. What does this mean for the future of the MCU?
Well, we got to talk about that first end scene too.
Yep. So that's Clea.
Yeah.
So Clea is the niece of Dormammu. Mm-hmm. In the comics, they end up becoming really close, and I believe in one of the runs they get married.
Okay.
So that's and Charlize Theron coming into the MCU. I was wondering when the hell she was going to get in there. Same thing with Jennifer Lawrence. She needs to get in there, which they might be saving her to keep her as Mystique, so she can stay as Mystique. I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
But anyway, the whole they're off on a multiverse adventure, and I think by the next time we see Strange, which I think might be a little bit, because he's been in a lot between Infinity War, Endgame, Spider-Man, and this one.
Yeah.
I think we need to give that character a few years to breathe, but the next time we see him, he's going to be a significantly more enhanced sorcerer.
Yeah.
And that's, I guess that would be a small complaint. Again, it feels like we saw his struggles in the first movie, but since then, he hasn't really struggled at all. And he's pulled out all these cool spells, which were visually great, like the dragon hands, all the stuff that he pulled out.
Yeah, it was different than what we've really seen from him.
Yeah, but it seemed like he has advanced a lot.
Yeah, and we didn't see that transition, I feel.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but whatever happens next, I think that he'll be back soon, and this is all leading to Secret Wars.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with him and Clea and going to help her in the Dark Dimension, but she mentioned that there's been an incursion, so they're setting up Secret Wars, and Secret Wars is going to make Endgame look like nothing.
Yeah.
Because
how can you though?
Because now you have X-Men and Fantastic Four, and all of the properties they now have will be better. I believe we get Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. back as multiversal versions, and you have this epic battle of Iron Man versus Iron Man. And it's going to be insane to see that unfold on screen. Like, Endgame itself was great, but it was the good guys versus the bad guys. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Civil War was great, and it was the good guys we know versus the other good guys we know.
Just moral.
But you throw in multiple universe and multiple variants of each character, it's going to be absolutely like I don't even know how they can tell that story.
No, and again, like it's like we're gonna have to have stuff in between. We're gonna have to have stuff. I mean, obviously, we're gonna have stuff in between. We're gonna have movies in between, but we're also gonna have TV shows in between. I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, we didn't even think about it at the time. How important is What If? Yeah, like in this one, we get at least that I can think of right now off the bat. We get two huge things from What If that we're thinking, oh, it's an animated show. They got their voices. That's cool. Yeah, I'll watch it. No, that's huge. It's important. It's very important. You need to watch What If for this movie to make sense more. Like the stuff with Peggy, mm-hmm. and then also like my favorite What If is the Doctor Strange What If, and it really transitions into this very well. So,
absolutely.
We're gonna need to have stuff on the in between that's gonna tell more, because it's like we have so many answers, we have so many questions, we need the answers, and again. We saw stuff. I hate to say the word rushed, but it was a little rushed because you have to when it's only going to be a 2-hour movie or whatever. I think this movie would have. I would rather the Batman be 2 hours. I would have rather this been 3 hours. Mm-hmm. Just because I think the Batman was too slow for a 3-hour movie.
I would agree with that.
I think this movie was too fast for a 2-hour movie. So
I would agree with that. At the end of it, I felt like I wanted more.
Yeah,
but those 2 hours. The entire time was just it was a wild ride.
So wild. Just everything. The different multiverses, the paint multiverse.
That was super cool.
It's that's why it's like, go see, if you haven't seen this movie, hopefully you've already seen it if you're watching this because of the spoiler version here.
Right.
If not, we've ruined so much for you, and I apologize, but we did give you fair
I don't apologize.
But just watch this and sit back and enjoy it. Just live in the moment of this movie. Because it is such a very different film, and they do it in such an incredible way. Oh, and we didn't even touch on America Chavez.
Oh yeah, and I guess that is another thing. I felt like she wasn't really involved in the thing as much as she should have been.
No, she. You think in the beginning she's going to be the focal point of the film, which I didn't know anything about her character.
I knew that she basically was able to transport through multiverses.
Okay, that was it. And it's really cool. It's really cool. I didn't know anything about her. I didn't even know that I never heard that she was going to be in this movie even at all. I don't know if other people had.
I mean, she was in the trailers.
Was she?
Oh yeah.
I don't even remember that.
She was in all of them.
Oh yeah. I didn't even remember that. So that was cool. But yeah, we thought she was going to be a real main focal point, and She's really not. I mean, there's obvious importance to her throughout the movie that makes the movie go along. But it's just it's obviously the battle between Strange and Scarlet. That's the story of this film. But when you look at all the different, it's like I can't even wrap my brain around all the different stuff that happens in this movie through the different multiverses, through Strange. Going through the Darkhold and the demons and stuff, and then using I knew there was gonna be something with zombies in this. Again, what if? But as soon as we saw the Doctor Strange that was dead, I told Emily he's gonna come back. I thought maybe as a zombie. He uses that body as an avatar, basically.
Yeah, that was interesting.
It's such an incredibly different movie, and I loved it so much. I really did. I mean, this is I was trying to think in the theater because I'm very difficult to enjoy a very difficult person to actually fully enjoy a comic book movie.
Yeah, same.
I really am, and I admit that. I love this movie, and I was trying to think watching it, where does this rank in my top? It's easily in my top 10 favorite Marvel movies. It could be top 5 favorite Marvel movies that they've ever done.
I think I read it best on someone put a comment up. I think it was Reddit. This isn't going to be many people's favorite Marvel movie, but it's not going to be near the bottom of anybody's list either. No. I think it is. It's a stepping stone. Where they're setting up so much more. And just, there's like 3 main things going on right now. They're setting up Young Avengers. You had Isaiah and Falcon and Winter Soldier. Yep. You have Billy and Tommy. America Chavez as part of it. Kid Loki. They've set up, so they have that whole thing they're building up. They're setting up Secret Wars, which is going to be that's the next endgame, I think. And they're setting up the whole Kane storyline. Yeah,
I would have loved to see something with him in this.
Yeah, we got him coming though with Quantumania. He's been confirmed to be in Ant-Man.
We know he's going to be in that.
Yeah,
we know he's going to be doing something with that.
Yeah, and we still have Thor: Love and Thunder.
We still have Love and Thunder.
Yeah, which looks awesome, by the way. That trailer.
It does. It looked really good.
It looks so much fun. It looks. Like it's extremely colorful and it's got Taika's hands all over, and that's one of the things I love about MCU is they let directors make the movies their own.
Yeah, they let them.
James Gunn.
They let them direct.
Guardians of the Galaxy are very much a James Gunn movie. This was very Sam Raimi-esque, and I love the Bruce Campbell scene at the end. It's over. Yeah, they do it every now and then just to mess with you, but that was a great callback to Evil Dead 2, I believe, where he had the severed hand that was punching him the whole time. That same actor in Sam Raimi's old Evil Dead 2. Yeah.
I didn't love the end scenes. I'll be honest, but I think to me that's because I was expecting something with the X-Men.
Yeah, no, I think it was, and they know that. I think they need to every now and then they have to have a little fun, and it was the same thing with Captain America. Let me tell you, patience. That was one of the funniest ones. Yeah, and I'm just like, I hate you, but at the same time, I love you for that. Yeah,
and then Peggy saying like I can do this all day still.
That was good. There were so many little callbacks. I can't wait to watch the Easter egg breakdowns or all the stuff that I missed.
But it's like it's a movie where it's like it's not a movie. Well, first of all, it's a movie that you literally I've never seen a movie look like I'm reading a comic book like this movie did. But second of all, it's a movie that it's not like, oh, I really want to see this a second time. No, I feel you need to see this movie a second time.
I can't wait to see it again.
Yeah, I can't either. I got to see it again.
I will probably see it Tuesday when it's $5.
That's what I was saying. I was thinking I want to see it when it's a little cheaper, but I got to see this movie again.
Speaking of which, you need to talk for about 10 seconds. So I need to get something out.
Okay. What am I going to talk about for 10 seconds? So the end scenes. I didn't love them, but they are what. Oh my gosh, that looks so dope. I didn't love them, but they're okay. I wanted something really epic from these end scenes that we just didn't get.
They've given us, we've got 23 movies of epic end scenes.
I know, but we just, again though, that's why I think I touched on this last show. I didn't want us to hype this up because I knew something like this was going to happen where it's like, again, I'm gushing over this movie. Absolutely loved it. It's just, and then you said earlier it was the movie you thought it would be in this sense, and in a large scale it wasn't the movie we thought it was going to be, and that was the one thing I was worried about. The night before, I said to Emily, my wife, I was like, I have such I did have hype, but I had in my brain, I had thought what this movie was going to be in my mind, and if it's not that, how am I going to react to this movie? And it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. In some ways it was, but in large ways it wasn't, and I still thought it's top 5 greatest Marvel movies ever made.
Top 5 is a very tough list for me to.
It is, and maybe it's recency bias.
I think it is.
Maybe I need to settle down. But
a little bit.
I'll say top 10. Top 10.
Top 10. I
to
think
be safe, I'll
it's
say
gonna
top
fall
10.
in there. I mean, because top 3 are pretty much locked up for me: Endgame, Infinity War, and No Way Home.
See, but
and that's not in any order. Those are my top 3.
It's unfair to have Endgame and Infinity War as separate entities.
No, because they're Marvel.
I know.
If we were doing top 5 non-Avenger Marvel movies, this is probably making that. But if we're doing top 5 Marvel,
you're right.
And Civil War is in there too.
Civil War is maybe my second favorite movie of all time. Of the Marvel movies.
Right, and then you gotta throw in maybe Ragnarok. Is it top 5 for me?
It's not for me. I really enjoyed it. I really like it. But it's not top 5 to me.
I love how it just changed Thor's character completely. I love the change they made, because it went from Thor being Thor, the god of thunder, to just within the opening scene, you're like, this is different.
See, and that's maybe my issue with it, because I think they jumped the shark on Thor's character too much.
They did before that. I think the Dark World Thor was horrible.
See, I like the Dark World Thor.
See, I don't think it was horrible. And even Chris Hemsworth said he just didn't care anymore. And then tried to basically revitalize his care for that character.
Yeah, and I think as an actor and as a person, that is closest to him as a person.
Yeah.
Is this new Thor, and it's a character he wants to play. I wanted that. I want the in between. I think he's too goofy now, and before he was too by the book. I was really hoping for an in between with Thor.
See, I think that setting up the Guardians of the Galaxy merger or crossover movie, I think I could do a whole movie with just Chris Hemsworth and Chris Pratt.
Oh,
they are hilarious.
It's gonna be. It's every single time it's just them in the scene. It's incredible.
But anyway, before we take a quick break here, I did want to take a moment. AMC was on point with their popcorn tin.
Oh, that was from AMC?
This was AMC's popcorn tin. Now, granted, it was like $25.
Oh, yeah, it's worth it.
It is so worth it. And going into it, Lauren was like, "You don't need any more popcorn tins. They go everywhere." And I'm just like, I don't care. I like collecting the souvenir popcorn tins.
Yeah.
I've got stuff from Endgame, from Black Widow, from Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's really cool.
I keep them all. And I didn't actually get this. My friend Dan and Sarah went with us, and they said, "What do you want?" I'm like, I want the souvenir tin. I didn't realize it was $25, or else I would have given them money.
Yeah.
But this thing, and she looks at it like, there's no way that's going to nest in the other one. So now we have, I'm like, but look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look how compact. Ha ha.
Oh, look at that.
AMC was on point with this souvenir popcorn tin.
Actually, it's a good thing I didn't see that, because I for sure, $25 is, take my money now.
Right.
That's well worth it.
I would have bought it in 2 seconds. And honestly, it held more than a large, I felt. Like, there was a lot of popcorn.
Not only that, it's like you can, like, it doesn't even need to be a popcorn thing. Like, you can build that up, and then you can put something in it. I mean,
it's a decoration.
Endless possibilities.
Yeah, it is a flat-out decoration. And it breaks down, so she can't bitch at me about taking up too much room.
Absolutely.
So whoever came up with that marketing at AMC,
good job.
So anyway, all right, final thoughts on the movie.
Man, I've spoken it to death. It's an incredible movie, incredibly shot, incredible score. It may not have been the movie I wanted in my head, but I still believe it is the most unique Marvel movie of all time in my mind.
I would agree with that. It is definitely a very different way that we've seen Marvel, and we knew that going in that, with it being a horror film, that they were going to do some new things.
Yeah.
They did,
we really didn't speak much on that horror aspect of it.
I mean, there was a lot of jump scares. There was
a lot of jumms, a lot of blood on the face of Scarlet.
Yeah, they definitely
blood going through. I mean, it was.
This movie might not be for like a 5-6-year-old kid.
No, because I mean, there is jump scenes. You will jump a time or two.
When she came out of the damn mirror, like, that shit was freaky.
Oh, it was so good.
I know, it was good. I loved it. I was just sitting there, and Lauren just looks at me. I'm just like, this is so cool.
Yeah. Like that. That's how I was. It's like I'm like giggling. Like, this is just. It's just. I didn't have that expectation in my mind of how everything was going to be shot. I mean, obviously with Doctor Strange, we've seen like ripples and stuff like that, but they outdid themselves completely.
Oh, yeah. It's probably one of the most visually beautiful movies I've ever seen. And again, I'm going back to that musical scene. That was just
top. Before it was awesome. Once that happened, I was just like, that's when I'm giggling. I'm like, it's just the coolest thing I've ever seen.
There are a lot of people who apparently did not like that scene because it's not a normal spell or whatever. I thought it was extremely unique. Yes, it was very much a Sam Raimi kind of thing, but I loved it so much. I just at that point of the movie, I was smiling big.
Yeah.
To your point earlier, we did build this up. We did it. Also, you see things like John Campea is putting out news that he's been told by his sources that this will have more surprises than Infinity War, No Way Home, and Endgame combined.
Well, and then last time we talked about there's going to be a death that was going to be the worst death we've ever seen. There wasn't.
I mean, if you want to include the Illuminati, maybe that might be what they were talking about.
Maybe they meant the most gruesome death.
Maybe
because there was some gruesomeness in that death scene.
But being Marvel fans, we've got to realize that not every movie is going to be Endgame. But and I said it,
and it shouldn't be.
Yeah, I said it a couple episodes ago. This is going to be a stepping stone for something bigger, and we don't know what that is yet. Other than Clea's in there, and they're going to the dark dimension to fight and everything like that. But I believe that the best thing that they can do is just slow build this. So in 8 years, when we go to Avengers, either Secret Wars or Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, or Young Avengers, it's probably going to be Young Avengers because I know people say that Feige said there's no more Avengers movie, but there's going to be something.
Yeah.
However they do it, we're going to look back on this movie, and this is going to be one of the big stepping stones.
Yeah.
And honestly, one quick note, Loki. No one's really touched on Loki and how important this is.
After the movie,
if it wasn't for Loki and them destroying and them killing Kang, none of this would have happened. And Feige confirmed that on the red carpet the other day.
Yeah,
said Loki and Sylvie did something at the end of Loki that made all of this possible. So if they hadn't done that, the TVA or whoever would have stepped in and stopped Doctor Strange from doing that, and stopped again Doctor Strange from doing the No Way Home spell and everything he did in the Multiverse of Madness. So that I love how it's all connecting. And everyone's like, it doesn't feel as connected. No, but I think this is a longer burn than what the first 3 phases were.
And that's thanks to Disney Plus with them adding the shows. It's a different version of us getting this content. We were so used to from the beginning of time. It's just movie to movie to movie to movie. Now we have different things. We have these shows, and they're showing just how important these shows are.
Right.
You need to see these shows. These are just as important as the movies, and I think that is done very strategically and genius in my book.
They've taken what they did in the first 3 phases, and they've expanded it significantly. My only concern is they're going to spread it too thin, and it's going to start getting confusing. Which right now they have, like I said,
it's already
3
confusing in a sense.
Main storylines. Kang and all that. It's building up to Secret Wars and Young Avengers. I mean, that in itself is multiple storylines.
Yeah.
But we've said it, in 5G we trust.
Yeah.
There's going to be a ton.
I still do.
So, all right. Let's take a real quick break because I need a drink of water like nobody's business. This is the Sporting Nerds Universe. You're watching it live from the Yamo Studios here in Columbus, Ohio. that all went over live.
Well,
I pointed to you and you were doing.
oh, I thought you were doing the. Well, we're back. It's Sporting Nerds Universe.
Live TV.
It's live TV. We're live for the first time ever.
Yep.
Which has been fun. It's been fun to bring this to Facebook Live, talking about everything. We're not editing. We're not stopping. But we talked to Doctor Strange into the multiverse.
Yep. And if you did watch this and enjoyed this, go back on Spotify, on Google Podcasts, on Apple Podcasts, everywhere you can find them. All of our previous episodes are on there, and we started around fall of last year. We have Shang-Chi reactions. We weren't around with Black Widow, right? No, we were not around with Black Widow, but Hawkeye, the Eternals, pretty much Spider-Man.
Yeah, we've talked about Black Widow, but.
Well, it came out last spring, and we didn't start until the fall.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so moving on. So we, obviously Marvel was having their time, but on May 4th, may the 4th be with you, Star Wars did drop the latest trailer for Kenobi. And have you seen the newest one yet? I
didn't see the newest one.
Okay, so not much.
I heard it was fantastic. I mean, the first one was mind blowing to me already. It looked like it. I feel bad that we're going to get to see this for free, basically, on Disney Plus because it feels like it needs to be in the theaters.
I mean, we got to pay, 2 months subscription at least, which is $17, $20, or how much is Disney Plus a month now? I got the bundle, so I pay
we do the bundle. We
I
just
pay
$20
$20 a month
bundle now too.
So guaranteeing $20 a month from me.
Yeah.
As opposed to a $14 movie ticket, it makes sense.
Yeah, like I may not agree with everything Disney does, but I've since Disney Plus has started, I've had it. And Emily's like, well, we should probably maybe get rid of something and do something else.
Disney Plus is not on that block.
It's never going to be Disney Plus. You can take anything away from me. Yeah. But you're not taking away my Disney Plus.
And that doesn't mean my Hulu and my ESPN Plus as well.
Yeah.
And so Netflix,
Netflix is the one where you can go away from. Even though they got some really good stuff on there.
Right. But it's something that I could open it up for a month, a year, and be happy about.
Yeah.
And catch up.
I'm just going to say this. We're not going to get in a tangent, but for true crimers, they on HBO Max, they just added a drama version of the true crime, The Staircase. Okay. And the Staircase story, if you haven't watched it, it is on Netflix. It's an incredible story. It's true. It's a true crime documentary. We watched the first 10 minutes of the drama, and I already love it.
Okay, I'll have to give that
yeah, definitely.
Give that a shot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big true crimer, honestly.
Well, see, it's funny now. True crime, I feel like they've done all this. They've done all the big stuff. So now they're kind of doing the Disney thing, where it's like Disney has the animated movies, and then they're doing live action versions of the animated. So now we're getting all these true crimes documentaries that are now turning into dramatizations of the true crime documentaries.
I mean, we love it.
I'm all in.
And just wait for the Johnny Depp Amber Heard movie to come out.
Oh, jeez.
That'll be insane.
That's a weird thing.
I don't even want to get into it.
We can't get into it.
There's so much going on there.
There really
is. Just weird shit. Pun intended. Big time on that.
Turned around and boom, there it was.
So basically, the Kenobi trailer had a lot of similar shots that we've seen. Grand Inquisitor, great shot. They're hunting Obi-Wan. Mm-hmm. But there's one thing that this had that this did not. That the other one did not. It showed the building and dressing, essentially, and then you hear the breathing of Darth Vader.
Oh, that just gave me chills.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we do get a little bit of a Vader tease.
Okay.
And I was talking to Lauren and my friends Dan and Sarah.
Which we knew we were.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, that had been announced that Hayden Christensen was coming back. My friends were like, "How is Hayden Christensen coming back? Are they just going to be off behind the thing?" I don't know how they're going to do it.
Yeah.
I'll watch it. It's Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan is probably my favorite character in Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they didn't bring back a young Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and we've got. Well, I mean, the thing is, at this point, he's been burnt, and his face is not the same.
Yeah.
So, I mean, is he just in the cloak? Do we never see Hayden Christensen? I think there'll be some kind of flashback.
Oh, absolutely. I think there's for sure going to be flashbacks. I think that's the whole thing. It's going to be the flashbacks.
I think we're going to get probably. This is my bold prediction. We will have the best lightsaber battle in all of Star Wars from this series.
It's very possible.
Yeah, because they don't have to rush it to finish up Act 3 of a movie. They have 6 episodes. Mm-hmm. And I don't know exactly how they'll do it, but I think it'll be absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
And so
I mean, it looks like there's probably the one thing that we know that's coming to Disney Plus in the near future that I'm most looking forward to is this. And I definitely didn't feel that way going into it with both Mandalorian or
Boba Fett.
Book of Boba Fett.
Season 2 of Mandalorian, I was excited about. Season 1, I was kind of
Yeah.
But I really liked Season 2. Boba Fett, and I know he's a lot of people's favorite character, and please don't come at me for this. I never got the hype for Boba Fett because I didn't grow up during the original saga.
Yeah.
To me, Boba Fett was somebody who showed up at a dinner party and then fell into a Sarlacc pit.
Yeah.
And that's really... Now, I know in the expanded universe, Boba Fett's a badass.
Oh, yeah, very much so.
But in just the movies, which is all I really watched growing up,
Yeah.
it wasn't that big of a character. Everybody hyped him up like he was the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really excited about Boba Fett. And then it became essentially Mandalorian Season 2.5.
Pretty much.
And I had to watch it because it's all connected.
It was still really good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. And the whole episode with Luke and training Grogu, I loved it. Like, that's one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm excited for Kenobi. I think it's going to be fantastic. They're hyping it up. We'll see. I wish Favreau was more involved, but he's not involved in this one.
Okay.
And I can't remember who's running this one, but it's not Favreau or Filoni.
Okay.
So, but I'm sure they're consultants in some way.
Oh, I'm sure. They have their fingerprints on it at the very least.
All right. So another trailer dropped on May 4th because somebody decided that it's smart to try to go against Star Wars on May 4th.
You don't go against Star Wars.
Yeah, I know, but Game of Thrones House of Dragon trailer came out.
Okay.
Yeah, so House of Dragon is a prequel. I believe it's set like 1,000 years before the Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. I know we talked briefly off air that you're not a big Game of Thrones fan.
It's not that I'm not. It's and I say this with all due respect. I hate you fans. You fans ruined it for me.
Okay,
but,
for one, I didn't watch it until after it was over.
Not you, but if you're watching or you're listening and you were one of those people that was so into Game of Thrones that every single week all you would talk about on social media is Game of Thrones and this one little joke on the inside for Game of Thrones fans all the time, like hold the door or whatever. You know what? You guys made me hate the show, but I loved it before then. I watched the first, I think, 3 seasons, and enough time has passed where I don't have y'all coming at me on social media and everything, just saying everything, where I can go through the show again, because there's aspects of it that I absolutely loved. There's aspects of it I didn't love. I thought it was, again, you want to talk about different stories at one time. That's all Game of Thrones was to me, is you're telling so many different kinds of stories throughout every single episode. But yeah. I'm in for rewatching it.
Yeah, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And real quick before I go off on my tangent, shout out to Daniel. Thanks for checking out the show. He says, agree with Adam about Boba, speaking for our generation. He was the same thing.
Yeah,
it just wasn't
true.
As, I don't get the hype for Boba Fett.
No, so when we talk about Boba Fett, I really believe that he's like a cult hero to people.
Right,
and
I don't get
it's
it.
like the only reason Boba Fett became anything was because of the comics, because of the books. You had to go out of your way to really realize how big Boba Fett was, and I feel like you shouldn't have to. So if it's that way, it's too forced to me. I don't. Again, Boba Fett's not. To me, he's just a hitman.
He's a bounty hunter in cool clothes.
Yeah. That's. I mean, very cool clothes or whatever. But there's not. I don't get so into Boba Fett either.
Yeah. So anyway, back to House of Dragon. I've watched Game of Thrones twice. The first time I had to get essentially coached through it. And Lauren being there to explain all the different characters, all the different lands.
That helps.
Like, it really does. And
Yeah.
honestly, one of the best things that we did, I don't know if you've been to our place since we put it up, we have a tapestry that is the map of Westeros and Essos.
Oh.
And she would legit have a laser pointer and point, okay, so
my
these people were
gosh.
from here. These people were from here. And it helped so much.
Yeah.
So having somebody who knows all this, because it is a lot to take
It's
in.
a lot.
There's so many different stories, and there's so much of the books that's not even in the show.
Yeah.
What she told me. So, but this trailer, it looks really intriguing. It's essentially 1,000 years before Game of Thrones. It's about the Targaryen Empire and how they ruled King's Landing, and the characters look similar to some of the current characters because they're family and bloodlines, which made sense.
Yeah.
I think it looks good. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, I think you're gonna love it.
Well, and I think the fans probably want something in their mind, and they want to get the bad taste of their mouth of just how
horribly it ended.
How bad. I haven't seen the ending. I have a buddy that's a huge fan. He already told me everything that happens because I don't care. Yeah, I think people just really want to get a different recency bias view on that whole universe. So that's going to be good for them. And people love that show. They are very dedicated fans.
It's a great show, and like especially when you start understanding the lore and all the other stuff that they're doing. It's a fantastic show. And the second watch was so much better for me because I had an idea of what was going on.
Yeah.
So that comes out in August, I believe. I can't wait to see that.
That's cool. Do we know? Is it limited or?
I don't know. It's a prequel series. That's all I know.
Yeah.
I'm sure if it's successful, there'll be more.
Yeah.
And it's Game of Thrones, so it's going to have a lot of people who watch it regardless.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful. It looks just, the production value for Game of Thrones was very high.
Yeah.
There was another one they started and spent $1 million, $50 million on the first episode, and they canceled it. So.
So it's a different thing than that one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think there's 4 series they're working on.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
do we need that much?
Do we need 28 Marvel movies?
Yeah.
Same thing about Game of Thrones saying this. That's what they'll say. The same thing.
I don't agree.
Yeah. All right. So next, if you went and saw Doctor Strange, you were treated to the newest trailer of Avatar: The Way of Water.
We were not. We thought our movie was at 8:30. It was really 8:15.
So you missed the Avatar trailer.
We literally sat down maybe 5 seconds before the movie started.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're just going to cut you out of this part. Now I'm going to talk about the Avatar trailer for a minute. I love Avatar. I thought the first movie was... I've only seen it like 3 times, but it was one of the most visually beautiful movies. And it was the first movie that really was used for 3D. And the experience itself was great, and I loved it, and it deserved to be like the highest grossing movie of all time. 14 years later, we now finally get the sequel. And we get this trailer out. And the trailer is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. But that's it. And the movie is just about water. That's all I know from it. And I wish there had been any kind of story. All they did was just show the beautiful shots. Surprise. Avatar looks pretty. Are you surprised by that?
It's my biggest gripe with Avatar. So I honestly, I didn't see Avatar till about a year ago.
Really?
Yeah. So it's just a movie I always wanted to see. I just never did. And then we went to Disney. We did the Avatar ride. One of the coolest rides I've ever been on in my whole entire life. I was like, let's watch it. And Emily loves it. So we watched it. And the story's meh. The beautifulmess of it is incredible. And so that, to me, that is Avatar. That's exactly, and that's why am I glad we're getting a sequel? Yes. Do we need multiple sequels? No. It's a beautiful, beautiful world, but that first story is like, it's been done so many times.
It was Pocahontas in space.
Exactly. It's been done so many times, and it's just, I was like, yeah, it's fine. It's a good movie. It looks gorgeous. So that doesn't shock me whatsoever. They want to get people back into that world and back into how gorgeous it is, and it is.
Mm-hmm. You never saw it in the theater, obviously.
No, never.
So they're going to re-release it this year.
Oh, okay.
Leading up to it, of course, because
that would be a cool thing to see in the theater.
That movie, that's why I like that movie so much, is because the experience in the theater is unlike anything else. It was made to be watched in 3D. It wasn't a great movie that they put a 3D filter on.
Okay.
It was built from the ground up to be a 3D immersive experience.
Yeah.
And the technology we have now, 14 years later, like the Dolby Cinema here in Columbus is the best movie theater I've ever been to in my life.
Yeah.
It's like 100-something speakers.
Yeah.
It's all pinpoint. It goes around you. It's like the coolest surround sound.
When did that get built?
I think it was like right before COVID.
Okay, so I have never been to that
It's
theater
fairly
then.
new.
Okay.
And it's, I mean, it has like the rumble seats and everything. And for Doctor Strange, man, that was awesome.
Yeah.
But
I mean, Disney does a fantastic job with that immersiveness too, of just of you being in that world of Avatar. Like when you're going through it, you hear the sounds and everything. You're seeing all the trees. They do a beautiful job. So it's a cool world. It's a very cool world.
Yeah. And that's what it's going to be based on. I think that's why they went with the way they did with the trailer. But I just wish there was more story because. Again,
that sounds really
pretty.
silly to me. It
was just
doesn't shock me, but it sounds silly.
I don't think there's a line of dialogue in the entire trailer.
That's
yeah. There's like, okay, there's some Avatar kids now. That's about all we got in terms of story. Other than that, it was just people in the water. So I was disappointed in it. I'll definitely see it. We also got a new TV a couple weeks ago, the QLED from Samsung.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it was beautiful.
I gotta get a high refresh rate monitor because I've been going hard on MLB The Show, and I found out anyone that plays that game and wants to be really good at that game, you need a fast refresh rate monitor. So I'm in the market of trying to find one under 200 bones.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I know. It's possible. You got to find it on a deal, but it's not the easiest thing.
All right. Well, that's all the stuff I had on the agenda. Anything left that you want to talk about real quick?
Gosh, I don't think so. I think we
covered a lot today.
Covered a lot.
We've missed a lot, though.
I'm sure we missed a lot. We covered a lot.
Like we have missed time, like in terms of being on our show and such.
Oh yeah.
So we had to kind of play catch up a little bit.
For sure, yeah. I mean, but there was a good reason why we've missed some time recently.
Yeah.
We're going to be better at that because it'd be nice to be able to do this at least every other week.
Right. And we got the studio at least in a position where we can
the studio
do
looks
this.
great.
Thank you. We're getting there. We got a few more things to put in here. But we should be running some multiple camera shoots here soon, and I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah.
So, cool. All right, well, then that'll do it for this episode of Sporty Nerds Universe. I'm Adam Dell. Over there's Jeff Wolf. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll have this, again, if you haven't seen it before, we have our, we have all of our former episodes and everything are live on Spotify and on iTunes, or as an Apple Podcast. Now, you're the Apple guy.
Yeah, it's on iTunes.
Okay.
Or Apple Pod. It's on podcasts.
Apple Pod.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So, all right. Thank you so much for checking it out. I'm trying to find the quick video I did. There it is. All right. Thanks a lot for checking this out. We'll see you next time.